show up and have some more fun. There's a lot of races out there. We can run for the ABC picks up the middle part of the season. So we want to give varsity more opportunities, and I certainly will try to let my other teams very soon.
What you think of the crowd?
I saw them being excited when we were passing those cars at the end. It's real easy to see the fans because of the way the lights are positioned. The fans are being well. So I can see them really getting excited about every pass we were making to win. And then under that green, white, checkered caution, they were just out of their seats, telling me everything I needed to do to win the race. I hate that I probably didn't get done what they wanted at the end, but I'm sure we're certainly taking everything around. How competitive we were. Race car. I was glad I was able to run pretty good with it.
What was the track like? Can you imagine this? You said that it's a good race. Can you imagine this atmosphere? Is that what you thought it would be? Like?
Bob, I thought we'd sell about 10,000 tickets. How many do you think we have here today, Bob?
Probably 16 to 18, I think.
Yeah. I was going to say 20.
Well, you're an optimist, I'm not, right?
Yeah. So I thought we'd get about 10 and be thrilled. You know, they sold out camping. You know, they packed them in here. I had a little compound over there off turn 2. All my family here. My Aunt Kathy was here. My dad's sister, my wife, and our kids, and I love them all getting to see me drive a little bit. And my oldest daughter, Isla's getting old enough to sort of piece it together a little bit. We watched the cars get lined up before the race, and she's like, "Why aren't you driving your car? You know, they're pushing. Somebody's driving your car to the front stretch." I'm like, "It's not time yet." So she's starting to figure it out, but. This is a tremendous deal for me. I had a lot of fun. I probably wasn't really smart because I didn't get monetarily involved in the ticket sales or the online purchases or the streaming rights or nothing. We didn't get paid to be here. We just wanted to have a race. This all started from trying to get this thing scanned. I was riding with Marcus in the airplane to go into Vegas, and I was very selfishly trying to get this track scanned for myself so I could race it on iRacing. I knew it'd make a lot of other people happy, but I was doing it for me. And this whole thing here, I was doing for me because I wanted to race a late model race. I'd been procrastinating forever about doing it, and I just needed a good kick in the ass. And I thought if we put a race on in Wilkesboro, there's no way I wouldn't do it, right? So I kind of backed my own self into a corner, I ended up. I know that everybody was going to enjoy this and have fun, but it was a little selfish agenda that drove all of it. But I was happy to be a part of advising everybody. I mean, telling them, hey, the car store has to be part of this. The only way I can race is if the car store comes, because I got late models and I'm not running a pro or a super or somebody else's car in any other series. I said, you get the car series there and I'll be there. I love the car store. They do a good job. We've been a part of that a long time and wanted to succeed. So it's awesome that everything came together. Everything came together. We had a late night last night. I don't know how late we'll go tonight. It's probably a little later than people would like, but weather was great. Thank God the weather was great. So I don't know how it could get much better, at least for us. We're in Victor Lane, and Carson did a good job. I'd rather him win, to be honest with you, in the long term for his own future. I'd rather him win this race because I believe in him, and he needs these kind of wins to really put his name on the map.
So I'm guessing you're not going to race here in October when it's dirt?
No, I don't race dirt. I never have. I got no talent. So nobody would want to see that. It'd be ugly. But I will be here, and I will be wherever the cold beer is. So I'm not going to miss that. I've already circled a couple dates that I think I can make. They're racing on Saturday night, the weekend of Martinsville, so I can probably skip over here and get to see that. I think I got to just see it, right? Could you imagine this place dirt? I can't even put that in my imagination. I got a hell of an imagination. I can't even imagine. I can't I got to see it. I can't not miss that, man. If I miss that, I'll be pretty disappointed. I'm more excited about that, I think, than this month, to be honest with you. But
what's this track mean in the history of soccer racing? It includes the sport and everything.
Hopefully,
and to bring it back.
Yeah, hopefully this track's going to have a future. I would encourage everybody that really wants to help this place survive. I would encourage everybody to really think of it as multi-use property. It cannot survive as simply a racetrack. It needs to serve the community, festivals, concerts, holiday events, things like that. It's boring talk, but it's real. It's the realistic option for this facility to survive. If it can survive as a multi-use property, it can have racing, and it can have some very, very good events here. And I think they can run trucks here. I think they can run Xfinity here. I think you could have an all-star race here. I don't see why, if we get a little further down the road, we couldn't even have the conversation can be had about having a cup race here. I don't know why you can say no to that in this juncture. I think there's a lot of potential here. So, but of course, when you have nights like this, anything seems possible. We'll wake up tomorrow and it'll maybe be a little more realistic landscape. But standing here tonight, it feels like we could just about do anything here.
I know you like to give credit elsewhere, but do you recognize your contributions and what you've done for there and to bring this place back?
I'm sorry, I don't. I don't, and that's probably a good thing. That don't make sense. But I'm gonna tell you, when I was standing here before the race started, getting ready to get in the car, I almost wanted to cry. It was so emotional because every seat was filled, and I still can't believe this happened. I still can't believe this happened, man. This place was forgotten about. Nobody, anyone in the planet was ready to argue with you. They ain't bringing that back. They ain't never coming back. Nobody, there's a lot of people that believed in it, but not enough, But enough switches got flipped, and enough fortunate things happened that here we are. But I still don't believe it, But boy, I'm gonna tell you, that moment of getting ready to climb in that car, looking around and seeing all those people that getting ready, they were anticipating the race. You could feel it. The energy was so amazing, and it felt exactly like being here in 1990. You know what I mean? Looking in the grandstand, it felt just like there's a cup race about to pop off with Ricky Rudd and Dad and Bodine and Darryl and all those guys. It was so cool. So,
when's the last time you got a top 3 in the Sun Drop 3 car?
I'm gonna tell you what. I ran 159 races in my late model career, and I won 3. Ran second a shit ton, third, fourth. But the Robert Powell, Charlie Powell, I raced against those guys down at the beach, and they beat me every week. Good race car drivers, good family, and I probably had a handful of top 5s, but this is by far the best moment I ever had driving a late model stock car. We won races, but boy, we won them by the skin of our teeth. Tonight, this is the best race car I've ever had in a late model stock race, by far. I've never had that good of a race car.
Did I hear that you're thinking about doing the Thanksgiving race at Southern National?
Well, that's certainly something I could run. I could run. I don't know. I was looking at the schedule weeks ago. I don't know if the 400 at Florence is on a race weekend. Is that right after
Cup? Right
after Cup. So I was looking at that. I raced at Florence. I might run one of those or both of those. I would love to. I'm excited. I'm definitely going to race next year a couple times. I'd love to go to Florence on a Friday night when not even tell nobody. We got a lot of off weeks with the car stores, so I could take a car and the guys just show up, never say a word, right? I'm dying to get in the dually and take that drive because I did it a lot in the 90s every Friday night. And I had a year down there. I won 1 race in 96, ran 14 races, won once, run second 12 times. I wrecked the 13th race, run second to Robert Powell every week. He was so good. He's still hanging around down there. But
are you going to do the thing like Tony Stewart where it's like, I'm Smoke Johnson?
No, I don't know, man. We'll probably just show up. We'll see. this will be tough to do again. This was a lot. I have worked my guts out for 2 days, signing autographs and doing Q&As and trying to help this. Way back, I made a lot of promises about what I'd contribute, right, to the event, and so we were busy. We were working and grinding and meeting and greeting and practicing and sweating. And God Almighty, it was miserable during the day. But so I don't know if I could actually do something this big again. But I mean, we want to race. But I don't like being in the middle of the attention. I don't like being the center of the universe at these type of deals. It's not very comfortable for me. I want to be looked at, as one of the other drivers. I want Bobby and all these guys that we race against to look at me as just a good driver they love racing with, and they're happy to see come in the track and unload. But being in the middle of the universe is kind of tough, but not my cup of tea, I guess. But
you
mentioned
me on your podcast that you want to run one early in the year before you start your NBC time. There's a track right up the road from Florence called Dillon Motor Speedway that had to lose a date. You called Ron Barfield and told him you at least owe him a little bit of media time and some autograph times. Does that run through your mind as maybe a potential start there at Dillon?
Well, if they run there, I'd certainly maybe look at that track. But Ron, I raced with Ron at the beach a little bit. He actually kind of was moving out when we were coming in. He just won a track championship when we were showing up. And but I always watched him when he moved up. I was like, that's the path I want to go, right? He went into the Xfinity Series, and so I've always really appreciated him. And when I heard, I didn't know they were losing the date, so I called him and I was like, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel like I did this. And I was like, look, I'll come to the track. I don't need to race. I'll just come sign some autographs and shake hands and get you some folks there one time next year on a weekend and try to make it up to you. And he's like, we're fine. I don't care. We're good. But I still respect him and want to do him a solid. So.
He said he was surprised that you called him because you did have a bit of a rivalry back in the 90s. Can you kind of describe what that was like back then?
I don't remember us having that much of a rivalry. He was really good, and I was just trying to learn and get going. He was way better than I was, so way back then. And I looked up to him because he made it out of the beach and was going into the top 3 series, into the Xfinity Series with Bill, and so that was a guy everybody racing at the beach was like, man, he made it out of here. Let's get going. We can do it. He gave us all the hope.